Today we are talking about intuition and the universe. How do you use intuition to make choices in your life that are going to make a positive difference? How is it we can do some amazing and sometimes unexplainable things, like heal our own bodies by the power of our thought? Mother's intuition, the law of attraction. Can we really tap into our subconscious mind? Can we really create our own realities? It begs the question, are we novice gods? Are you somebody who wants to use divine guidance to make sure that your choices are going to be good choices, that they're going to be helpful for you, that they're going to get you further along the path of becoming who you were truly meant to be? I hope that you tune into your intuition, that you get used to regularly checking in with yourself and feeling how you feel inside, checking that intuition. Let me tell you a little story about somebody that this worked out wonderfully for. Now, I don't know if he would look at this and he would say, yeah, it was my intuition. But as I look at it, it sure seems clear that he paid attention to his inner feelings in order to make a huge difference, make his life into who he really was going to be. The story is about Sylvester Stallone and the making of the movie Rocky. Now, if you haven't heard his story is almost like a movie in and of itself. He was broke. This is when he was starting out. He wanted to be an actor, had gotten a few gigs, but nothing really great, nothing, that you'd really write home about. Wasn't popular at all. He went to a fight one night and saw Muhammad Ali fighting, I think it was Chuck Weber or something like that, or Wepper. Anyway, he saw this fight, and Chuck was going up against the world champion, and he was getting knocked down again and again and again, and he got up and he went the distance with him, and he just kind of took the blows. And Sylvester thought, wow, what a great metaphor for life. I should write that into a script. So 3 days later, he had the script written. It was short, it was only 90 pages. But it had the bulk of the essence of what Rocky would be. And so he was at an audition, and he wasn't doing great at the audition, really wasn't the right part for him. But he talked to the guys, and he told them about this script that he had, and they were somewhat interested. So they got together another time, and they became even more interested. And they offered him money. They offered him $360,000 for that script. Now, at that time, Sylvester Stallone had $106 in his checking account. $106, and they offered him $360,000. You take it, right? You take the money and run, because that's a lot of money, when you're starting out that low. But Sylvester thought about it, and he thought, you know what? I'm kind of used to being poor. I've been poor all my life. This isn't changing anything. Just, a little while before, he had tried to sell his dog because he realized this wasn't a good life for his dog, because his dog was even going hungry with the amount of food and money that Sylvester was able to bring in. So he's just coming from just almost rock bottom, and he has this opportunity to change his life. But there was something inside of him, something inside that said, if you take this job, or if you take this money, and the agreement with the money was that, for $360,000, Sylvester will buy your script, but you have to promise not to star in it. We've got Burt Reynolds or somebody else that could play the part better than you. And yeah, if you'll sign this away, we'll take this, we'll make it into a beautiful film, and you'll get money, and it'll be wonderful. Well, Sylvester, he had this ache inside of him that said, if I do that, if I give that away, and it becomes popular, I will kick myself for not having starred in it. This was my dream, this was my hope. And he listened to his gut feeling. He listened to those feelings, and the producers eventually relented and actually offered to make the movie for $1 million, which at that time was insanely low. And they actually came under budget, which was pretty cool. because they had family members and they did one takes on a lot of things. I know in one story when they threw the turkey out the window, they actually grabbed the turkey, put it back in for a second take. They didn't splurge on a lot of stuff. But the point was that he stuck with his feelings. He stuck with his thoughts. Now, when he was faced with this decision, do I take the money or do I listen to my thoughts and feelings? He said this. He said, I've got to try it. I've just got to do it. I may be totally wrong, but I just believe in it. There was just something inside of him that believed he could do this role better than anyone else, and he wanted to do that. He wanted to stay true to who he was. Well, Rocky went on to get 9 Oscar nominations, including 3 wins. And the whole franchise ended up making more than $1.4 billion at the box office. Amazing story, right? What if he had not listened to his intuition? What if he had not listened to his heart? What if he had not paid attention to those feelings that he had within that said, no, you need to hold on. Don't take the easy money. Don't take the quick route. Hold on, you can do this. Believe in it. Anyway, I believe that that's divine guidance. I believe that that is our intuition. It's that inner voice that just feels so clear and so true to who we are. So how does your intuition work for you? What are feelings? What are ways that it manifests for you? Do you have these feelings of peace? Do you have kind of this tingling sensation? Do you have serendipity happen to you to where you have the chance meeting with somebody that was like, how did that work out? These happy accidents. Do you have thoughts and impressions that come to your mind? Do you have this inner belief? Do you have this little voice that speaks to you? Or this sudden thought or insight? Do you have clarity? These are all ways that your intuition can signal to you. So how does your intuition signal to you right now? What are things that it does to let you know the right way to go? Now, once you recognize, and actually your intuition can speak to you in different ways and at different times. So pay attention to that. It may grow over time. It may start out as kind of this electric feeling and turn into a feeling of peace or a calmness or a serenity. But pay attention to how your intuition is speaking to you and get in the habit of following it. When you follow your intuition, when you are true to yourself all the way to the core, it makes a huge difference in being able to recognize those impressions in the future. I just wanted to point those things out to you because if you're working with intuition, if you're working with the universe, you want to manifest this great stuff in your life, you want to create the kind of life that you know that you were destined to be, it starts with really recognizing and following your intuition. What if you are a God in the making? What if there is purpose to your life, meaning in your challenges? May you have the courage, power, and faith to become everything you were meant to be. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to click to subscribe.